Okay, it looks like it's a pretty interesting new big update coming to Skyblock. Now, initially, if you don't do too much digging and you walk into the community centre and then head over to the city project, we see the Petka expansion funding 3.2% of the way there. Now, if we take a look a bit more in detail here, Petka expansion introduces Petka, adding ways to train and level up your pets. Of course, you can contribute and you'll get a special memento. Sure, cool. Yeah, that's, you know, pretty standard. We see that with a lot of updates. Something similar happened when the Rift was coming out and so on. But what does this actually mean? Because if we actually think about what this could mean, it could be pretty massive. Now, we already have Cat, an NPC where you can level your pets up in terms of rarity. But we may be actually looking at more of something along the lines of an NPC that you can literally just give your pet to, and then the NPC will train for you, i.e. level for you, which would be interesting. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. Now, at the moment, we don't have a massive amount of information. All we have is Petka Expansion City Project. There is a new city project for you to contribute to, which will expand the Petka for everyone. It introduces a new NPC that will allow you to train multiple pets at once and give them XP. So we really turn it into Pokemon. But in all seriousness, we've not been given a massive amount to work with. But I've got a few theories and some speculation. And honestly, this could be absolutely huge. But before we do, if you are planning on purchasing anything from the Hypixel store, make sure to use code NITROS. It gets yourself 5% off. Also, you should subscribe to the channel. It does help out a lot. And you should also join the Discord server. It's linked in the description of this video. We offer slayers and dungeon carries, so if you need carries or want to carry and make some coins, make sure to join. Okay, so we know that it states that you're able to train multiple pets at once, and basically the pets gain XP. So I would assume that you're probably going to have to give the NPC something to almost power the training of the pets. I would think so, maybe I'm wrong. Now, something else that I've also heard is the potential that pets could be able to hold multiple pet items at once. Imagine being able to use something like a Minos Relic and a Dwarf Turtle Shellmate on the same pet at the same time. That would be insane. Or maybe being able to tier boost your Ender Dragon pet and also use a Turtle Shellmate at the same time. Now, that would be insane. Honestly, there's tons and tons and tons of different combinations that you could potentially think of that would be cracked. Now, the other bit of speculation that I've heard is potentially that you will now be able to level pets up to level 200, obviously once the update comes out. We've seen it with the G-Dragon, it works perfectly fine. My only concern is if basically you're able to level up, for instance, I don't know, like any other pet. Let's say a blue whale pet, a legendary blue whale to level 100. Does that mean if you can level it to level 200 that the stats will essentially be doubled, or does it scale differently, or is the scaling changed on the whole pet? So by isn't so, I don't really know, but it'd be interesting to see. Now, something else that of course isn't inconceivable is the fact that maybe we are now able to access, I don't know, like Taming 60. We only have Taming 50. Maybe we get Taming 60 with this update. And to be honest, I feel like it would be very interesting if the whole taming skill itself was completely and utterly changed with the introduction of this NPC. I mean, at the moment, it's as simple as leveling your pet up, or leveling pets up, gaining pet XP, and then leveling your taming up. I mean, it's relatively simple. It's a free skill that you don't have to focus on at all. You'll just get it passively. And from it, you basically just gain pet luck and, of course, Skyblock XP. Of course, you gain extra pet XP as well, which is nice. Similar to skills like Enchanted and Alchemy, though, it's a skill that no one's really going to focus on. You do your dailies and you get it done, and it's not even that, you just play the game and it gets done. It's not something you ever have to focus on. Whereas taming with a new NPC and with different features could actually be something that you could work on. It would make a lot more sense than it does at the moment. But honestly, yeah, I think a rework for the taming skill would be really nice, and I think it's something that should definitely be done. Now, the only thing is, like I said before, is we don't have a massive amount to go off this update at all. They've not really given us much. They've given us a few sentences that are very, very, very vague. And I think it makes complete and utter sense for you to be able to essentially just play the game and level a pet up. I'm not sure whether we really need a passive way to level pets. I mean, yeah, I guess everything's passive because most of the time when you're using a pet, you're using it for its buffs and not to level it up. It's usually just sort of like a passive thing that happens that you just level the pet up. Sometimes, of course, you may intentionally do something, i.e. grind something that gives you a lot of combat XP to level up a G-Drag or something like that. But majority of the time, it doesn't work like that. Don't get me wrong, it will be far less pain to have to actively grind in order to level your pet up, but it just seems a little bit strange because we've never had it that way. And what I will say is, do you remember a few months ago when we had that sort of potential update on the alpha revolving around an NPC that was in this house that was changed a little bit? And it was like weapon fusion, whereby you could take a weapon, take the ability off it, and mash it up into a Frankenstein weapon and put it onto something else, which was crazy. People were walking around with like Wither Impacts, Claymores, and it was just it was craziness. Like, of course, that update like that could never be released. But could we potentially see something similar with pets? For instance, like taking some of the perks from the Mushroom Cow Pet and sticking them on the elephant. Imagine how good that would be. I was just looking back over the update sort of text that they sent out, the patch notes, should I say. I don't know why that was so difficult. And I come across this comment here, the XP Shareco moment, which is, yeah, it's pretty true. That is essentially what I can understand. The main feature of the new NPC that they're adding is essentially just an EXP share. Which makes me think there must be much more to this update. Surely there's got to be, if it's... Otherwise it doesn't make... You know what I mean? This is a good point. I mean, putting an XP Shareco on a pet, you know, I guess is relatively slow, considering you only get a fraction of the XP that you would be getting if you're actually fully leveling it, like actually properly leveling it. Which makes me think that potentially training the pet of the new NPC must be much quicker. Which is very interesting, because if you can just level a pet in the matter of like a day, then surely that's a bit too overpowered. There's another comment saying, me leveling a gazillion G-Drags at one time. Why would you not? But that's the thing at the moment. And the thing is, we don't really know, because the patch notes are very open-ended. Now, something that I may have actually potentially overlooked is if we actually just take a look at the actual pet car expansion itself. And first of all, we have candy fundings. Training pets require a lot of food supplies. Makes sense. Lots of toys. Pufferfishes are great to play with, apparently. Okay, interesting. Training material. It's important to use robust bones for training sessions. Constructions. We also need to expand the building. Wait, we can, using birchwood, right? So if this is a hint to what's actually going on within the update, I guess this means that, well, first of all, you need to actually feed the pet with probably carrots, which makes sense. Then you need to basically train the pets with something. For some reason, they've chosen pufferfish. Okay. And then this is essentially implying that maybe we need bones or something. Yeah, training material. And then constructions. Maybe if we expand the building where the pets are being trained, we can do more things, train more pets at once. I'm not 100% sure, but obviously that uses wood. That could have absolutely no correlation to what's going on in the update, but it potentially could. And because there's not a lot to go off, I just thought I'd just go over it. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think is actually going on inside this update. Is it just simply something to train your pets and level them while you're AFK? Or is it something a little bit more substantial? Anyway, if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you do leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.